socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. Across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Online across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the fact today, only on ATN.
Back. I have with me on the show today two guests, like I said earlier, able to do justice to the show. I have Dr. Kelly Kels Ejiro. Dr. Kelly Kels Ejiro is a medical practitioner and a relationship coach. Let me put it like that. You're welcome to the show, Dr. Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
And I also have on the show Rotarian Abigail. Rotarian Abigail, you're welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thanks for
She's
having
a
me.
relationship expert and an entrepreneur as well. On to the stories. Edo State-born Enugu-based actress Christabel Egbenya via her YouTube channel has advised married couples to go with children to go for DNA test. Expectedly, this generated mixed reactions, raising questions whether the actress might have bitten more than she can chew. However, the actress, in a chat with press, stood her ground and explained the reason behind her unpopular prescription. She said DNA has really helped a lot of men and women to know if the child they have at home is actually their own or not. Again, most people have opened up to their partners in respect to a child who is not their own biologically. All this is in a bid to avoid public embarrassment and also disappointment from their partners. Furthermore, it has reduced the rate of women getting a child outside marriage because many women these days are scared of having babies outside their home because one thing or the other might implicate them, she said. Abigail.
Yes, please.
Now, on the issue of DNA, you're the woman. I will start first with you. Because usually the reactions come a lot from the women. Okay. Dr. Kelly, why are you smiling?
It's about to go down.
Okay. Abigail, what's your take on couples having DNA tests on their children?
Okay. I think this is a very controversial issue. And also it's a very sensitive one. Okay. So we have to handle it with care. When it comes to this, I think I will agree with the opinion that couples should actually have DNA on their children, go for paternity tests for their children. This will clarify a lot of issues and for clarification purposes.
Really?
Yes, please.
Coming from you, a woman.
Yes, why not?
Dr. Kelly, what do you have to say?
Quite agree.
Okay, let me drop my profession here.
Okay.
Let me drop my profession and maybe play the devil's advocate a bit. You understand? I wouldn't say she's all right or at the same time she's all wrong. But I think if we're talking about couples should go for paternity test at all times, then trust is an issue there.
Okay.
Do you understand me? I'm going to come from that angle. Then trust is an issue because I should be able to trust my spouse, my partner enough that our child is ours.
Okay.
Do you understand me? So why should you be doing paternity tests when I trust you and you trust me? You love me, I love you, we understand each other. So I don't see it as compulsory, if you ask me.
Okay.
Let's leave my medical life or line out of it, my practice out of it. I'm just coming from the normal human, man, woman perspective.
Relationship.
Yes, relationship thingy. If we say we love each other, we understand each other, we trust each other, then why do all of that? At times, you just look for something that's not looking for you.
You're like stirring the honest nests.
Do you understand?
Looking for issues where there are no issues.
So why didn't you just leave it?
Maybe because of the high rate of infidelity in the society now, and then also issues of, stories have abound where maybe a couple, somebody wants to travel, or a Nigerian living in diaspora wants to bring the children over to join him or her, and a DNA test is conducted on the children, and he realizes that, oh, I have 4 kids, the 4 of them are not mine, or I have 4 kids, 3 of them are not mine, and there have also been cases of siblings who also want to bring their children. Usually this happens when maybe there is need to travel abroad, or maybe medical emergencies, and there is need for the blood transfusion and all of that. Maybe through the blood test they now realize that, okay, your blood group does not match with any of your siblings and all of that. Issues like that. You're a medical doctor.
Yeah,
So now the case of infidelity is rife, and stories of men not actually being the biological fathers of their children has been so rife that men have decided, a lot of men right now, at the back of their minds, would rather do DNA tests, whether they love their wives or not.
Okay, from where I stand, I still maintain my opinion. And I would say most times people marry for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Yes, people marry for the wrong reasons. Because you cannot tell me that 2 persons that genuinely love themselves, understand themselves, we'll be talking about that. Okay, now let's narrow it down a bit to the female gender. Yeah, right? There's something I know in my line of work. When a woman truly loves a man, correct me if I'm wrong though, you're a woman, but I know that when a woman truly loves a man, she can't stand another man touching her. If a woman truly loves a man, she's into that man, she cannot stand another man touching her. So that's where my opinion is being originated from. Because if I have my partner loves me, I know there are things, when a man and a woman are in a relationship, a man would know, you'll be convinced in your very soul and spirit that this woman loves you unconditionally. To a marrow, you would know. Do you understand me?
How do you know?
I think
now that's the question. How do you know?
These things are just intuitive, if you ask me. It's not rocket science. It's not ABC. It's intuitive. When you are with someone, you know this person can't breathe without you. This person can't live without you. I've seen relationships like that. I've seen marriages like that. Do you understand me? So I'm actually coming from the point that I've seen these things happen. Do you understand me? So if you're trying to make paternity tests a must in every marriage or relationship, I think I don't subscribe to that.
All right, Abigail.
Yes, please.
Do you think having a paternity test done on kids, like your children, your husband conducting paternity test on them, how will it affect, let me not use your marriage, but how do you think it will affect the marriage of the woman involved? How do you think it will affect her psychologically?
Okay, that's a very good one. I actually think, from my own stance, that paternity tests should be compulsory. Because if you know you are transparent in that marriage, there's no need to be afraid. I don't think it's going to affect her psychologically, because she knows there is trust in the marriage. So why should she feel bothered? When she trusts herself, she knows she loves her husband, she wouldn't cheat on him. And besides, paternity test doesn't only determine whether the child is it doesn't determine infidelity. There are other cases too. You understand? And like in the hospitals, we have seen situations where children are being swapped in the hospital due to, will I say corruption? Will I also say carelessness of the nurses? So we have seen such situations. So it doesn't just dwell on infidelity of the woman. Okay? So it's not just DNA. There is also MNA, maternity tests too. So you as a mother, you also want to know if the child belongs to you.
Well, we are talking of DNA right now, not the maternity.
Yes,
test. So
like I
let's
said,
zero
this
it
is a
down.
very sensitive issue.
You say it doesn't affect the woman at all.
It does psychologically, but for she to be okay, for she to be, will I say, to feel comfortable in that marriage, I think it should go ahead and do paternity test.
Okay.
Yes.
Conscious, you know,
Now, Dr. Kelly.
No, please. I've listened to you talk here.
Okay.
And I understand where you're coming from. I'm not.
Definitely.
You are entitled to your opinion.
Yes, I am.
But okay, now you've been married for years, or let me say, a man and a woman have been married for years, and like 6 years down the marriage, and now we're talking about a paternity test, maybe to do one or two things, and maybe you realize that. Okay, what will you do now that you do the test and you realize that, okay, the child that is being bettered isn't yours as a mother and isn't the father's? Of what sense is it going to make? You are going to be more heartbroken as a mother to come to the realization that this child that you've loved for years isn't yours.
Okay.
The man also will be broken. This child that they've loved for years isn't his. That was why I said earlier that most times people just go looking for trouble where there isn't. And let me narrow it down a bit to the emotion of the woman. Trust is being breached here. Okay, now there's a DNA test done, right? Maybe the man probably snuck behind the woman's back to, run the test, and at the end of the day, she finds out that, okay, the husband snuck behind the back to do the test, and she saw it. Do you think the woman would ever feel comfortable in that marriage? I don't think so. Maybe you're coming from your own point of view.
Okay.
But I've actually had this conversation with women in my line of job. I don't want to bring that up here, but I've had this conversation with women. Most women aren't comfortable with each other. It is going to, that small pinch will be there. Oh, so he doesn't trust me. He doesn't trust me anymore for him to have done this.
I think that's where consent is necessary. You need to seek your wife's consent before you run a paternity test on your children.
I believe you're coming from your own point of view.
Definitely.
Yes, you as a person. But if we're going to throw it open and look at it from the larger picture, I don't think most women, personally, from the ones I have seen, I don't think most women will find it really, really comfortable. Not because they aren't sure. Because in my place, there's this thing that it's only a woman that knows the true father of her child.
Yes. And we have seen several cases where the children, like she rightly said, at the end of the DNA test, we discover that those children actually not the children of the man. In that case, what happens?
Isn't that
I can tell you I can tell you for free that I've seen lots of cases, more than the ones that you've seen, that the children actually are the man's children.
And where does that leave the woman at the end of the day?
Good. That's so now you see
what
I'm
does
coming
it do
from.
to the psychology of the woman?
The woman is broken.
And
because she feels like, okay, the husband doesn't trust her enough to do all of that. And let's look at marriage that has been there for the past 20 years, 15 years, 25 years, 30 years, and because of what's happening now, the man feels like you're going to do a DNA, a paternity test for that child. A woman has been with you for this long. So, because of what's happening in the society at the moment, you feel she might have found herself in that space and she would have done that. You're leaving the woman broken. And trust me, that woman, there's a woman I know that she's not happy in a marriage at the moment.
Okay, I think
That's me being honest right now.
I think for a man to even want to think of doing a DNA test, I think there must have been a doubt somewhere.
I'm not sure that's the case.
Sometimes,
I'm not sure that's the case because
sometimes it might not be a
happen in
function
society.
of. Sometimes it might not be a function of doubt. It could be a function of, oh, this is trending. My friend did it. Let me do it. Okay, I read somewhere in social media, a man did DNA test and the 4 children.
Yes.
You know, these stories keep coming up on social media and it drives panic in the hearts of a lot of men. Now, let's also come back to what it does to the marriage. and the psychology of a woman, especially in instances when the woman, the husband has been unfaithful.
Okay.
One or two times or more than she can count, and she has been faithful, and then along the line the husband now wakes up one morning and says, I want a DNA test. Meanwhile, he has been the one who has been unfaithful, and the wife has been aware that my husband has been unfaithful, and probably she's privy to his side chicks, right? What does it do to the psychology of such a woman? Can such marriage survive this?
It can't, trust me. Because once that DNA test is being done and it's been proven that the children are the man's, that marriage can never be the same.
Okay, now let's come to the cultural view of it. In Igbo land, it's prior to this time, a lot of children in Igbo land do not actually belong to their fathers, and it's a known thing. A situation, there are cultures Igbo people have when a man is unable to father a child. He permits the wife to go somewhere and father and get pregnant. Sometimes they may have arrangements where, somebody the man knows impregnates the wife. However she does it, wherever they meet, the man doesn't want to know. But all he knows is that the man will not come to his house to impregnate the wife. So they can do it in a bush or wherever, it's not his business. But then, at the end of the day, the woman gets pregnant and gives birth to children. And the husband is aware of this because the husband needs his lineage to continue. That's one. The husband needs to be seen as a complete man. And the wife who loves the husband desperately would not want the husband to be a thing of mockery amongst his kinsmen. Not just that, the wife also is looking at her survival in her husband's place, because in Igbo culture, what actually determines a woman surviving or staying long, even long after the husband's demise, is her ability to have children, not just children, but male children. Now, that's on one side. There is another culture in Igbo land where if a man has maybe marries and, along the line, the man dies without giving birth to a male child, an heir, the wife is allowed to get pregnant and give birth to that heir. Or in a case where the wife is no more of childbearing age, one of the daughters, most times, usually the first daughter doesn't marry. She stays in the father's house and gives birth to children so that the father will have an heir or will have heirs that will carry on with his lineage. So this has been a culture in Igbo land. In some other cases, it's even the brother, if the man died without having an heir, it is the brother's wife, the husband's brother that now, in Igbo land, they call it Ikuchiwai. That is the husband's brother that now takes the responsibility for the woman and gets her pregnant to have children for his late brother. So now, in Igbo culture, having children that are not biologically related to the man is rife and acceptable depending on the situation and the culture of the Igbo people at that time. Why is it so different now?
Let me come in there medically. See what you just said. These things happened back in the day because of, let me use the word lack of science, right?
Okay.
But in the present age now, it still happens, but in a different way. That's where artificial insemination comes in, IVF comes in, and all of that. A man and a woman, they can, it's obvious that, the man can't father a child. What do they do? They go to a bank where they get this thing and it's been inserted into the woman, artificially, and all of that, without her having to meet
Sexually.
the other person sexually. Do you understand? And she can still have a baby. Do you understand? So these things still happen, but it happens in a more advanced way. I believe if the people back in the day knew all of this, no man in his right mind would just want to sit back and allow his wife go stay with someone because he wants to have a child. But then that was what was needed, and it was important. But at the moment now, there are more advanced ways to do it. So no man would sit back and allow that. Do you understand me? So in the Igbo culture, I don't think it's even a thing at the moment because of science, because of advancement. Nobody wants to do that anymore. Because we men, it kills us faster. The thought of it kills us faster.
And again, the thought of the child not being yours.
Yes, it's going to be there in your head that, okay, you know that this child is not yours. You look at this child every day, you know this child is not yours. It's killing, it's heart-biting, if you ask me.
Let's look at the other side of the table. A man has a child outside marriage, and then suddenly one day calls the wife and tells the wife, maybe buys gifts and try to buy into her emotions, and then drops the bombshell. I have a 13-year-old, or I have 2 children.
How long have they been married for? We need to look at that.
Usually, no, I'm not talking of children before the marriage. The man cheated during the course of the marriage and had children outside the marriage. Let's say the marriage is 10 years and the children are maybe 7 years and 4 years respectively. And he comes to and tells the wife one day that I have a child outside marriage, or I have 2 children outside marriage, and maybe the mother is late, or for some reason the woman cannot continue taking care, or the woman needs to marry and cannot carry her children to her marriage and all of that. So the man has no choice but to bring that woman, the children, home to the woman. Is it? How do you think it affects? No, hold on. How do you think that affects the psychology of the woman? How do you think that affects
women? See, correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, women are wired to be mothers.
Are men not wired to be fathers?
See, but that's the bitter truth.
Let me finish. Are men not wired to be fathers?
No, we're wired to be well, let me finish now. Okay. I'm coming from somewhere. Women are wired to be mothers, naturally.
Okay.
Do you understand me? And also, we're Africans. I'm an African man. I'm a Nigerian man.
Oh, yeah.
And polygamy
oh, yeah.
is not a sin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being honest, but polygamy is not a sin. It's not a crime.
Now, the issue is not about polygamy.
Yes, it's not about polygamy.
The issue is about the issue is about bringing in.
I am not done.
Okay, continue, Dr. Kelly.
See, what if, because what you're saying is more like it's fictional.
It's not.
No, it's not. It happens.
No,
it happens. There have been scenarios.
What you say, we calm down.
Real life stories.
Coming from what you're saying now, see, we're dissecting it from what you just said, because you said imagine. That was what you said. Okay, okay. You said let us. So it's fictional.
But it's a real life experience.
It's a real life experience, but right now it's fictional.
But is it a real life experience?
Because we don't have anybody we're looking at the moment.
We've had stories.
I know.
Stories are there. Real life stories are there.
How come when I gave you examples of men running tests on their children and they realize that the children don't belong to them, or siblings are in diaspora who wants to bring their siblings over, run tests and realize that their siblings, they are not related to their siblings. You never brought up the issue of fiction. How come, in this case, you're bringing up the issue of fiction?
That's why we're talking.
Because you want.
And he also talked about the emotional well-being of the woman. He didn't put the man into play in that situation? What about the emotional well-being of the man? Because we've had scenarios where the man had to commit suicide because he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand the fact that the children. There has been real life stories. At least the story I read on social media, the man wanted to relocate the children abroad and discovered that those 4 children, not 1, not 2, not 3, but a whole 4, and not his biological children. He couldn't take it. He couldn't stand it. He had to commit suicide. Yes.
To me, I don't.
So, that's a real life story.
We are actually diverting. Okay. Let's narrow back to. Let's anchor on the question I asked before.
And I'm not done.
The scenario that I painted of a man.
Thank God.
You
just said it again.
On
You
the
just
wife.
painted a scenario. That was why I said it is fictional.
Which is also real life.
I'm not saying that, but at the moment now, it's fictional.
Doesn't take away that it's
she's giving us a reality. She's just giving an example.
Dr. Kels, actually, I do not want to mention names of people who hold me in confidence.
No, I get it.
So now, treat it as a real life situation.
See, my dear, polygamy is not an issue for us in Africa, in Nigeria. In fact, everywhere, polygamy is not an issue.
She didn't mention the man was married to the lady.
Okay.
Now, you did not mention what if, as you did not mention, what if the man was married to the lady? Because can I finish? Because I know as an African man, a Nigerian man, I don't think I need to take permission from my partner before I get married to another woman.
You do.
Yes,
really?
Yes,
you
yes.
You do.
Dr. Kels.
You do.
Dr. Kels.
Yes, I don't need to take permission.
You
no.
do.
Hold on. You don't need
in
to take permission. Are you talking about your partner or you're talking about your wife?
The one you claim you love so much.
Wait, please, ladies.
They are not the same thing.
Ladies.
Your partner is different from your wife.
Wait, see. I'm married to, for example, yeah? Okay, I'm married to you, right? You're my wife. Oh, and I probably, years of our marriage, I tend to meet her. And I feel like she's somebody I want to get married to. And I tell her, I am married, though, but I want to get married to you. And she says yes. I will go ahead and marry her.
Without seeking your wife's consent.
Why do I need your consent to marry whom I want to? Because you will not agree now.
So now...
So why do I need your consent to marry the next person I want? Because I know you will not agree.
I'm surprised that you, a modern day man, is saying this.
That's the problem we have now.
Excuse
me? You are saying everybody's modern day. I am not modern day. I am ancient.
You're a traditional
man.
I'm
a core traditional man. I am ancient. I don't need to take permission from wife 1 to marry wife 2. No, I will not do that.
Okay,
if I see a woman I like, I will marry her. Yes.
Now, Dr. Kelly.
Yes.
You talked about how DNA test affects the psychology of a woman. Now, if you could show empathy to that particular struggle that women have, especially when the DNA test is done and you see how broken they are, how much more, Dr. Kelly, hold on, how much more, I'm just surprised that if you could show sympathy to that scenario, you are unable to also understand how broken your wife would be if you bring in another woman. Unless you...
I'm not bringing the other woman to the house.
If you marry...
I will marry and keep the woman.
Unless, Dr. Kels, you're trying to tell me that during courtship with your wife, you made your wife understand that you're polygamous, you believe in polygamy, and the likelihood of marrying another woman along the line is high.
Okay, but do you know that?
If you did not have that conversation with your wife, and then along the line, you decide to break a vow that you made to her before God and before man, or before your kinsmen, because you have promised her it's going to be her and her alone. You're going to love her and cherish her for the rest of your life, and then along the line, because the beautiful ones are not yet born, and suddenly they became born along the line, and you now saw a very beautiful one, and you decided to go for that one, irrespective of how the wife of your youth feels.
Very sharply.
Now, at this point, do you think it would be justified for your wife to cheat on you in revenge?
Okay, you've asked
because these are issues that are leading to the societal crisis we have now. A lot of women are now cheating on their husbands day in, day out. And when you engage them in conversation, they don't even feel remorse about it.
Okay, you're done, Adi. Okay, let me take it from the top.
Yes.
See, my sister, I believe when a man and a woman, they are dating, if the woman brings her eye down, she knows that this one is a chronic cheat or is cheating by bit by bit by bit. What is the possibility that tomorrow he might decide, he wouldn't decide to have another wife? That is point number one. Number two, well, I'm not going to talk about religion here. But me, I'm a core traditional person. Do you understand? I believe so much in our core traditional principles. And when a man is getting married to a woman in a traditional way, it is not said anywhere that the man is promising to marry only that woman. It is not said. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I am very sure of what I am saying.
But is it a conversation you will have with your wife before you get married to her? Because a woman ought to know what she's in for. Do you think it's fair to have that conversation and not,
if it comes up,
not assume
Laurentia,
that she should know by putting her eyes down according to you?
Like I said before, let's not look for problem where there's no problem. If it happens in the future, fine. If it doesn't happen, fine. So be it.
Why are you leaving the survival of your marriage to...
It is not, my marriage will not scatter. No, it will not scatter. And there are no
you're speaking for yourself and not for your wife.
It will not scatter because the woman that has been with you all the years, okay, like you rightly pointed out earlier, you said, okay, is the man might cheat or might be, be cheating here and there. And I asked a question. So what are the possibilities? You know that this guy cheats once, and you don't think that there's a possibility that he would want to marry a second wife in the future? Is that something that we need to talk about?
Can I come in?
Yes, please.
I think relationship is different from marriage. And our culture, I don't know of any other tradition, I don't know the Igbo tradition, but in my culture, you have to seek the consent of your wife before you can bring in a second wife. She must accept it. And there must be reasons, there must be ground. There must be ground for bringing in a second wife. Maybe she doesn't have a male child, or maybe she didn't bear children.
My sister, see.
So you cannot just bring in a second wife.
My sister, see, let me tell you something.
Because you were a traditional man.
See that one that you're saying because she doesn't have a male child? There are other reasons. There are other, very, very, that we cannot even start mentioning now. There are other reasons.
That allows you as a man to bring in a second wife.
Give me two reasons.
Yes,
let me give you one. You see, libido check.
Oh, God.
Libido check is very, very important. I'm being honest.
So now, when a man has libido, high libido, it's acceptable. But when a woman has higher libido than the husband, she's advised to pray, to go for the
No. I don't subscribe to that.
Is she allowed to cheat?
Or maybe allowed to marry a second husband?
Wait, let me finish.
Where is the place of self-control?
Wait now. You're asking me, I will answer you.
Okay.
A woman that has a very high libido, right? Before the man is getting married to that woman, he should know that this woman, but it's the truth. You should know that the woman has a very high libido. Is that something you can deal with? Do you get me? If it's not, if you can deal with it, okay, maybe you cannot deal with it yourself. I've seen men that they got married to women that their libido is very high, and they had to make alternative means to always put the woman there whenever she wants to be there. Do you understand? But if we flip to the other side, when a woman starts having children, libido drops.
And then when she gets to menopause, it goes back up.
Let me finish now. When a woman starts having children, libido drops. So now, let's see from the scenario that it's the man has a very high libido, and hers was just there. Do you get me? And now she starts having children, and it drops further. So where does that leave the man? And most times, I've seen cases, a woman will say, I don't want to do. I'm not in the mood. Let me rest. Let me do this one. Let me do that one. Where does that leave the man? most times they just go out there to criticize men, to lambast men. Oh, the man is cheating, the man is this, the man is that. Nobody has for once cared to listen to the predicament of the man.
And don't you think when a woman keeps complaining, I'm tired, I want to rest, I want to do this, don't you think the man has a role to play? Since he knows what he wants and when he wants it, don't you think he has a role to play to ensure the wife does not retire to bed tired? By helping out in some chores at home, by maybe taking care of the children while she takes care.
Days, they are maids. They are maids now. Come on now, Larisha. They are maids.
What of a situation can
the woman is not just in the mood. The woman is not just in the mood.
Dr. Kels, in this current economic reality, not everybody is able to afford domestic help. That's the reality.
Yes, I know that.
A man who lacks self-control can actually even go for the maid, the domestic staff, if he's not careful.
Oh, okay. All right.
Excuse me, what are we talking about?
At this point, this conversation is not about it.
Yeah.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we look at women should not propose to men, according to actress Ijoma Thomas. Do not go away.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Nollywood actress Ijoma Thomas, in a chat with press, shares her knowledge concerning having a lasting marriage while advising women never to propose marriage to their men. According to her, choosing a lifetime partner must not be made without careful and prayerful considerations. She said, customs and early practice provide that man is the one to propose marriage to a woman he wishes to marry. This argument is based on the belief that God, the initiator of marriage, brought the woman to man first. Through studies and research, this practice has saturated many traditions. It is very wrong for a woman to propose marriage to the man. In fact, it is not in our African tradition and culture. Any woman that proposes to the man she loves and values loses her honor and respect before the man immediately. The man is the right person to do that. It is his responsibility to propose to the love of his life. The woman must never take steps to propose to her man. It is very wrong. I'll start with you, Dr. Kelly. You're the man. You're the man. So,
yes, my sister.
an African man.
An African man.
So, what's your take on women proposing to men?
If you love me, propose to me, no, Allah.
I don't understand this. You're an African man.
See,
is it that you're selective of the traditions?
Okay, no, see, I'm an African man, but let's, at the same time, I'm being realistic here.
Okay.
Okay, let's narrow it down to the angle that me being an African man, I am not financially buoyant enough. I love this person, for example, that I would love to settle down, because before a woman would do that, there's that assurance in her that she knows that this guy really wants her, really wants to settle down. There's something trending online now. I don't want to go into that, right? But she knows that this guy really loves her and he would want to settle down with her. But because of his financial situation at the moment, he's not capable, and that's why he's not popping the question. Do you understand me? It's no biggie if she's saying, would you marry me? Do you understand? It's not like it's going to come like she's kneeling on the ground to do the
or the paparazzi that comes to proposal.
It's a man that does that. No, me personally, I really don't even believe in a man kneeling on the ground to propose to a woman. Number one, first, I don't believe in that. Do you understand? But I don't want to go into that.
Okay.
Do you get me? But when a woman wants to do hers, it's more like, babe, you marry me. She has dropped it in a very subtle manner. It's not left for you to say, well, babe, you know, I really don't. That's when the conversation would start. Because I have seen cases as well like this. That's where it starts from. Okay, I know you don't have. Okay, let's see how we can fix you here. Let's see how we can do a business. Let's see how we can do this. So, do you understand me? It starts from there. But she popped the question. And I don't see it as a big deal, popping the question. And also, let me even move further. I heard you praying for, I don't believe in that. I honestly don't believe in
praying for
a spouse or
okay.
God tell me that this is, I don't believe in that.
Okay. Abigail, what do you have to say? Do you believe a woman should propose to a man?
Okay, I quite agree with him in this area.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I do. I do.
So, for the first you now have a common ground.
Let me get to my point. Society actually frowns. It's against our social norms and values. For a woman, it's on culture. For a woman, to propose to a man. But in my opinion, I think any woman who summons the courage to go after what she wants, she must have seen a man she likes, a high-value man, a man she loves, and she wants to express her feelings. Sure, why not? She can go ahead. In fact, that kind of a woman is courageous, she has strength, and should be applauded.
She should be celebrated.
She should be celebrated, yes. For she to go, she can go ahead and it's not. Not every woman can actually do that.
She's bold.
The reason is this, yes, she's bold.
Have you brought in the rejection factor?
Yeah, that's where I want to come in now. For a woman to go ahead and propose to a man she loves, I think there must have been a relationship. She must have known that the man loves her and they have mutual respect and understanding among themselves for her to do that. She cannot just walk into any man and say, I love you, will you marry me? No. And sometimes it's, most times if you look at some men, either they are shy, they would love the woman, either they are shy and they are afraid of rejection, or like you rightly said, some do not have the financial means. So the woman goes ahead to propose marriage. So it's welcome. It's my opinion. I agree with it. I can do it because I'm a bold and courageous, high-value woman. Thank you very much.
Okay, now, Nigeria still falls into patriarchy. And a lot of people, even the society, may frown at it. Unless maybe the proposal is done in private. But then when it comes out, somehow, that the woman proposed marriage, the reaction of the society usually isn't welcoming. The same with the family of both the man and the woman as well. So, and for some men, when a woman, some men do not share this perspective with you, Dr. Kels.
It's a relationship.
Like the actress said, when the woman proposes, she automatically loses the respect of a man. And probably this could be the reason why a lot of women are unmarried.
Please, I want to ask us one question and maybe our viewers as well, right? It's going to sink in. It's your relationship meant to please the society or to please you and your spouse? Straight up, if it's me and my spouse that are both involved in that, it has no business to do with the society. If my spouse proposes to me, I'm the one that will go and tell the world that, oh, she came and proposed to me, she said she loves me. She asked if I should marry her.
But have you seen situations in marriage where years down the line, issues come up and the man uses it against the wife? Those issues are right. Sometimes the man will tell the wife, are you not the one that paid your bride price? I pay your bride? Did you not give me money? Those things are just... But those are real life situations.
But those things are just jabs. You know, it doesn't lead to a divorce or separation. It's just jabs
it causes pain to the woman.
My dear, that is where understanding comes into play. Because I believe if you understand your partner, you should know when your partner is jabbing.
No, I do not mean, I don't mean that playful jab. When partners are throwing down, like a couple is throwing down majorly. Also, you now see them saying some things that...
It's to get at each other. It's just to see.
And don't you think these are the reasons some women... Okay, Abigail, for you now, this question is for you. We'll still come back to Dr. Kels. Don't you think this is the reason why some women are shy to propose? Because of, they are thinking of the future. They are thinking of, what if things should go south? This man might use this against them.
Okay, before you go ahead and propose to a man, you must know the kind of man you're proposing to.
People change, don't they?
Yes, people change, but then there are different issues in marriages, and it's not just that alone. So it's not people change. I don't think that's enough reason to want to hold back your feelings for a man. It's not enough reason.
Simple.
Okay, so Dr. Kels of the opinion that women should learn to pour.
Just pour it out.
To express yourself. You have the right to say what you want to say.
What's there?
It's your choice.
You know this man loves you and you love the man.
Is love enough?
Love is not enough. Love, trust, understanding.
You just answered it. It's love enough. Love is not enough. So at some point in the marriage, when
I said this,
it's as if the love is not there as much as it used to be.
But understanding keeps the marriage. Because understanding breeds friendship. Do you understand? It breeds friendship. Trust goes a long way. Trust is what makes you go to sleep and you believe that your partner is not going to put a knife to your throat while you're asleep. This is more like a statement. That's where all of this comes into play.
Okay.
I think love is the foundation of every marriage. When there is love, there is understanding. When there is love...
Is love sustainable?
To me, yes, it is.
Love is sustainable.
Love, it is.
For you,
yeah, for Abigail, yes.
Dr. Kels, is love sustainable?
It's not.
Really?
Why is that?
Okay, so on this you differ. You don't agree. Okay, to you, what is sustainable? What sustains a marriage? Understanding and trust. For you, what sustains a marriage?
Love.
That lie.
Because when there is love, there is understanding. Love is everything.
No.
Love is love. Love is sharing.
No, you can love somebody.
Love is respect.
I don't understand you.
No. Then you don't love the person.
No.
There should be mutual understanding. There should be respect in it. Love can hold the marriage.
You can love someone and respect the person.
No matter.
But you can love someone and just not understand the way the person thinks, the way the person
But if you don't love the person enough, there's no reason for marriage. That's it. If you don't love, that's my opinion.
Even if you don't fully understand the person,
you marry the person because you love the person.
You marry the person.
If I love you, I have to understand you. That's just and if I understand you, it brings love.
I just feel that they are not they're
not related.
Yes,
you think they are not related?
I feel they are two different things because I can actually understand someone I don't love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone I just
You can like
don't
someone and
love.
understand the person.
You understand?
You get into marriage with that person
might
without
be,
loving the
you
person.
might be my colleague, and I understand you 100% without loving you.
So you can
But
marry
I
you can
have
marry
respect.
somebody you understand without loving the person.
I feel yes, I can marry someone
You understand.
I understand without loving that person because love grows. For me, you don't just fall in love, you grow to love someone. So, and in the olden days, anyway, quickly time is sort of aside. In the olden days,
You fall in love.
people entered into
Don't just
arranged
fall into love,
marriages
you fall into love.
and loved each other at the end of the day.
This is our
But
day,
time,
fall in love.
Marriage of convenience.
we are short of time. Thank you. No, sadly, this is all we can take on this episode of The Family. Thank you, Dr. Kels, for always coming and always bringing it. Thank you, Abigail, for coming on the show. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine.
I look forward to having you again on The Family.
Thank you.
And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of The Family. Don't forget, you can stay connected to us on all our social media handles, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Global news comes up shortly by 9 p.m. Do not go away. I am Ogu Laurentia Choma. Good night.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.